How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with another episode of How Will It Cook? So, let's roll the title. So, today we're going to be showcasing rice-a-roni stir-fried rice. Rice, vermicelli, and Asian seasonings. So, we're going to use a pan, just a saucepan for this. So we've got 2 cups of water, a box of mix, and butter. So let's get started. So our first thing we're going to do, and I think I may have done this before, but I ended up messing some things up in it, so I'm going to retry it, and see how the package instructions do. So first thing, that is 2 tablespoons of butter. Add a little bit more. We'll need it just because when you live with CDH, you cannot gain weight, so you take your small victories where you can. Adding a little bit of extra fat to this will help up the calories. Now, if anybody else has seen a How Will It Cook kind of a video, this is more what I'm doing with this as opposed to taste testing. It's a little bit hotter than I thought the eye was going to get. As opposed to taste testing things as is. Yes, I will go based on the package instructions for the most part, but with CDH, our biggest thing is we need to up the calories. So I'm going to show you how to do that and still manage to get something similar to what the package probably intended originally. So, believe it or not, we're going to grab our seasoning packet out of here. We will use this later, but not right now. Right now, our biggest thing is we're going to saute and kind of toast our rice. There's a spoon. So our goal is literally just toast the rice. That's it. All we're doing to start off with is get the rice coated in butter and get it to start to brown. Get it to start to toast and get a nutty flavor to it. It will also start to soften as we do this, so there are multiple advantages to doing this. So most of you probably know me as the CDH Warrior. If you know me as the Shirtless Chef, then you literally just found this channel at random. However, I actually started out doing game streams. However, this was my original goal. Trying to teach people how to cook while still trying to educate people about congenital diaphragmatic hernia, a birth defect that I actually survived. I'm trying right now just to toast the rice and not burn it. This will not be the only chance we get to add flavor to this, but it will be one of the first base starts to get some flavor added to it. There we go. It's beginning to smell a bit like Rice Krispie treats. Most bizarre explanation, but that's what it smells like. And if you think about it, that makes sense. Because this is quite simply dried rice. And Rice Krispies are basically dried rice that have been puffed kind of like popcorn. Oh, I wish you all had smell-o-vision. Looks like we're about 8 minutes in. There we go. It's nicely toasted. Now, we're going to go to our next. Oh, we're going to add I literally wish you all could smell this. Looks like it's pretty well toasted now. I'm going to pull this off the heat for a second. That is what you're going for, that nice kind of golden brown color. That is what you want. Now, we have not added liquid to this other than the butter, so that's where we are. Now, from here, we're going to add our water. However, we're not going to add our seasonings yet. In with our water. We're just going to let this dry over here. We're not going to worry about washing it. All it had was water in it, so stir it 2 seconds. Now we're going to add our seasoning packet in. That is our seasoning and our herbs. But that's not all we're adding to this. So that's just the start of what we're doing. I'm going to stir that through/in, just give it a head start. And now we'll wait for that to come to a boil. I figured I'd talk a bit about myself. So, if you're just joining us here, or just stumbled upon our channel with this video, thank you so much. If you've known me from my CDH Warrior videos, I do an entire gaming channel. I'm probably going to change the name of that because currently it's William Monday, but it will be CDH Warrior most likely. That's what I'm going to change the name to. So, the reason why I came up with the CDH Warrior and the Shirtless Chef and things like that was to raise awareness for a rare birth defect I survived called congenital diaphragmatic hernia. It's a birth defect that affects 1 in 2,500 children worldwide. But there isn't a lot of research about it. For it to be as common as it is one of the least researched defects that's known about. That's why I did this channel, decided to start this channel, was to help raise awareness for that and to teach people how to cook kind of the stupid way. I don't want to make that sound mean, but that's the way I'm going to put it. I didn't really, I knew how to cook general things. I knew how to drop stuff in a pan and make it cook, but I didn't know how to truly cook until, I'm ashamed to state this, until I was basically in college. That's when I really started learning, although I've really started taking more of an initiative on cooking in the last 6 months or so, since I've been doing this video series. Not this one specifically, but this channel. So, say 3 or 4 months that I've really started getting serious on how to cook. Now, that's more when I started showing. I really started trying to learn about a year ago. I decided, I was watching the anime Demon Slayer, and the scene with Tanjiro where he wants the bowl of udon. And so I decided I was going to learn how to make udon from scratch. Well, except for the noodles, but pretty much from scratch. I had no idea what I was doing. I literally got a box of mushrooms and put them in a pot with mushrooms, green onions, ginger, garlic, what else did I put? Shallots, and I think one other thing. Dropped it in a pot, let it boil, and that was my soup, per se. That was my soup base. And then added the udon noodles about 15 minutes before I was supposed to finish. It was supposed to be finished. I used par-cooked noodles, so that's why only about 15 minutes or so before I started. But it's one, that fascination is what led me to starting to cook Japanese dishes. So, from there, I taught myself how to make gyoza. Not the exact recipe, but a similar recipe to what you saw me make last week, or last Friday. So, that was where I kind of got my start. Gonna cover that. Yeah, that's pretty much a boil. Cover, reduce to a simmer. And now we've got another 15 minutes or so. This is going to be a long video, but this is real time, folks. This is not, I'm pausing to deal with things. This isn't, this is as close to live as I can get without flat out live streaming it to YouTube. In all honesty, I do not know how something like that would work, so I could still get my intro and whatnot done. However, this is kind of the next best thing. So, grab some water. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. So, kind of wearing out. but it's one I just end up losing track of my own thoughts. But it's one I've made all kinds of odd things. But it's one I do these videos more as a hobby, but I do it to raise awareness. Because there are a lot of people that go through similar issues to me that end up with the question of, okay, we got past this. What next? So, okay, that's funny. It looks like my head is too big for the rest of me, and that's not accurate. But it's simply the way I'm standing. Welcome to having a mind that will go 100 directions at once. So, I ended up deciding, I'm trying to decide whether I put these series on hold during the holidays. Because I honestly don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done between Thanksgiving and everything going on, and it may just flat out be too much. However, I am going to try and keep the channel up, as so to speak. But it's hard to do videos like this. I was supposed to do a taste test Monday and completely forgot. But it's one between streaming and doing this. I do a lot to try and help raise awareness for CDH. But I honestly don't know if people are actually getting the message. But enough about that. I'm pretty sure you all didn't want a dreary afternoon video to watch. But it's one I'm basically real. I'm being as real as I can with you all. When you sit down and watch my videos, you are getting blunt honesty. You may not like it. You may not like how it makes you feel. But it's the truth. Granted, it's just one perspective out of many. But it is an example. I'm making a plate. Oh, I've got a chance. There's one of our flat plates that you've seen time and time again. So, we've got about 10 minutes until this is pretty much done. I'm going to check on the rice and see how it's doing. Grab a spoon this time. There we go. The rice has pretty much absorbed the vast majority of the liquid. We're not quite to the full-on seasoning stage yet, but we're close. And give it a taste just to make sure it doesn't need like salt or anything. Because you really want that to cook down. As opposed to these sauces where you can just dump them in and stir. That is actually good. No salt needed. So, one of the other things that I wanted to show is this series has kind of turned 180 in a way. Because originally this was showcasing how things cook, dealing with boxed meals, reviewing those, things like that. And it has turned into more of a how to bulk up a meal. As you can see where I've got the soy sauce and the teriyaki, and I've got some sweet and sour stir fry sauce that I'm going to add into this. It's how to add extra calories when you have to get a high calorie diet. At this point, so many people are on bad diets of, oh, I can't eat anything except for this. Let's say they can eat anything they want except for bread. Or they can only eat, an example of this would be like a paleo diet or something like that, where they pretty much eat meat and grains, but not the processed grains. You can do vegan diets and things like that. I haven't really found that anything really works for me. Because the problem is, unlike most people that try these diets, their goal is to try and take the weight off, and it doesn't stay off. My problem is I try to put the weight on, and I can't keep it. So that's where I end up. Move this off the heat. I don't think I added enough liquid, or this burned off a lot quicker than I expected. Well, the thing is, it says 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. It's only been about 10. But it looks pretty good, so I'm just going to let it stand for 5 minutes. And while I'm doing that, we can continue to talk. Sorry, I've been constantly talking, so I feel like I swallowed a cotton ball. But it's one I go through so much that most people don't have to think about. I've tried a lot of different diets trying to put on weight, and not much of anything really works. Not of my own design or of somebody else's design. I've tried vegan diets. I've tried high calorie diets. The only thing I learned from the high calorie is it doesn't stick. I can eat as much as I can. I've tried to cut out all the super processed foods. That didn't really work. As you see me eating a boxed meal. But it's one sorry folks, the wheels in my head are turning. I've got a whole bunch of seasonings over here on the counter next in front of me that you all can't see. This one, we're still just waiting on the rice to kind of finish steaming. I'd call that pretty much done. I'm going to let this cool for a minute. And then we're going to start adding our sauces in. So I've got some soy sauce. And all we're really doing is, here's our soy sauce. Just eyeballing this. No need to be very particular in how this is done. That gave it a good smell. Now, we're going to add some teriyaki. Add a touch more of it. That's added some pretty good flavor. And then we're going to add some stir-fry sauce. This is sweet and sour stir-fry sauce. Ooh, gave it a really good flavor. So that's good. Now we're going to plate this up. 33 minutes, okay. A little longer than I planned, but make it work. We're hilariously just going to turn what should be 3 servings into 1. And it's one. What I just did is 750 calories just on its own. So, let's taste. I need to figure out how to set the camera up so you can see me a little better, but this is really good. So, for the Shirtless Chef, this has been how to bulk up. Rice-a-roni, stir-fried rice. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.